My parents were shot in front of our house. I didn't get to say goodbye. Even though hindi ako tunay na anak nila, hindi siya 8 to 5 na job. Unlike what many people would think. Mayabang talaga ako nung mga panahon na yun, period. I'm project manager for an IT consulting firm. I single-handedly finished this project, ganyan-ganyan. Kaya na-promote ako 3 times in a year. Youngest project manager. Ang yabang talaga. Grabe mo yun. Parang may credit card. Tapos may mga downline. Kaya sabi ko, sige, swipe mo lang yan. Unli yan. Ganyan kalala. Gumagastos ka ng hindi according sa kinita mo. Then, nabaon ako sa utang. Like, baon na baon. Tinakwil na ako ng family ko. Yung sahod ko, 50,000. Yung utang ko, 600 to 700,000. Office mate niya, pinagseselosan ko kasi text ng text na kumain ka na ba? Natulog. O, di ba? Kahit ikaw magre-react ka, kahit gaanong hard work, hindi rin pala mapupunta sa'yo kasi hindi mo kumpanya. Ay nako, ang sarap-sarap ng buhay ng isang negosyante. Ang daming pera. Kala nyo pag may business, hayahay ang buhay. 24/7, kailangan yung attention mo. Ikaw lahat. Ikaw yung payroll, accounting, human resources, sales, marketing. Ikaw pa minsan delivery. You can go far with just integrity. Hindi mo kailangan ng sobrang laking pera. Hindi pwedeng pagkagawa mo ng isang business, that's it. Boom na agad.
Ang paghahanap ng aming mga guest at pagbabahagi ng kanilang kwento ay nangangailangan ng maraming oras. Pero sa tulong nyo, makakadiscover kami ng mga iba't iba pang mga istorya ng ordinaryong Pilipino. Para sa mas magandang community experience, pwede kayo makipag-usap at magtanong ng kahit ano sa aming mga naging guests at manatiling anonymous sa Discord. I-click nyo lamang ang join button para maging isang exclusive member. Maraming salamat!
Hi, my name is Mayan Duran Cuarto, and I'm an entrepreneur. So I started as an employee for an IT consulting firm. So we usually have clients na malalaki, no? So project manager ako, so we deal with ERP systems. I used to handle the distribution system, and then I closed and finished some of the biggest projects na meron yung company namin. So that's how I started in my IT career. But technically, prior to that, kasi I graduated computer engineering from Ateneo de Zamboanga University, I was not that confident with my skill set. Kasi wala namang actual skill set yung programming and all the IT technology na meron kami. So, nag-call center muna ako. And then after sa call center, a colleague of mine really encouraged me na computer engineering ka naman. Bakit hindi mag-apply ka as an IT personnel or as an, as an IT or in the IT field? Kasi when I started sa call center, alam mo yon, parang you have this certain pride na, wow, alam mo, nag-i-English ka with English accent. And na-promote ako doon to be to be a supervisor, and then like I was drawn into it. But yun nga, because a colleague encouraged me, nag-apply ako in big pharma company as a applications consultant. I assisted in implementing some systems. And then during that time, I had the privilege of flying home to Zamboanga. Kasi I came to Manila kasi this is where I wanted to work. And then I get to fly every month supporting yung ERP or distribution system ng isang pharma in Zamboanga. So I get to see my parents every month, di ba? And unfortunately, my parents were shot dead in front of our house. They were robbed, and I had to go back home, and I had to tend to yung store namin sa palengke. So may maliit kaming tindahan selling asin at oil and tinapay, very typical. But, medyo ready na ako to accept my fate na siguro dito na talaga yung buhay ko. May kapatid ako. So, I had a biological sister. I think she was also in Zamboanga nung time na yon. She was also in Palengke. Nagbebenta naman ng kape sa palengke. And then I had yung adoptive, because I was adopted. So may siblings din ako sa adoptive parents ko. And I had a younger sibling. So I felt that at that time that I was somewhat responsible, na, of course, for my siblings, kasi who would take care of them, right? So I stayed there for a few months. And then, my uncle also encouraged me na baka mabubulok ka lang dyan sa palengke. So, why don't you go back to Manila and continue yung career mo? Because I had a standing offer. Parang more or less pinirate ako ng IT consulting firm from that big pharma company because sila yung gumawa ng systems.
Na-mention niyo po kanina na yung adoptive parents po ninyo is nabaril.
Yeah.
Paano po kayo naapektuhan nung buong event po na ito?
Well, deeply affected kasi I was in the office. When I heard the news, it was October 23 na nangyari. I was supposed to fly that day to Zamboanga. And then, hindi natuloy kasi holiday pala. Unfortunately, sa sobrang, alam mo yun, hindi naman windang, like, wala lang, typical day for me, parang I was in the office, may tinatapos lang ako, I forgot to inform my parents na hindi pala ako matutuloy sa araw na yon to fly to Zamboanga. Kasi ang setup namin, if I fly to Zamboanga, so mag-check-in kami sa hotel, tapos the day na uuwi yung project manager ko, ako naman, uuwi ako sa bahay namin. So, ganyan yung typical scenario. Like, usually 5 p.m., tsaka lang ako uuwi sa amin. So, my parents were actually expecting me. And it was around 5 or 4 p.m. when my sister called me up and told me that my parents were shot in front of our house. And it was very difficult for me because I didn't get to say goodbye to my parents. I didn't even get to talk to them before it happened. Na I had that chance. Sana, because, diba, hindi ako natuloy eh. I could have called them na, Ma, hindi pala kami matutuloy kasi holiday, na-cancel yung flight. For next week kami pupunta. So that was very difficult for me looking back because as you know, I later find out na sabi ng staff namin or yung boy namin, parang sabi niya na my mom's phone rang as she was going home. Kasi, and then she said, baka si An na to, nandito na kaya siya. So that was very painful for me kasi I had the chance. I didn't get to call and say man lang na, Ma, I'm not going. Okay, bye, I love you. I didn't get that chance. I didn't get the chance to express fully yung gratitude ko towards them. I didn't get to express my gratitude for taking care of me, even though hindi ako tunay na anak nila. But they treated me like their own. So, ba't ba ako naiiyak? Bakit mo ko pinapaiyak? Sorry. Sorry, iyakin ako. So, hindi ko alam.
Kung kunwari po naririnig po nila kayo, ano pong gusto niyo pong sabihin sa kanila po?
That I miss them. I miss them terribly. I miss my dad kasi he spoiled me. Hindi naman spoiled in a bad sense, but hindi kami ganun kayaman. Pero, kung ano yung mga nauso nun, yung nauso yung rollerblades, bibilhan niya talaga kami. Alam mo yun, parang, I never felt deprived growing up. Hindi kami mayaman, but I never felt deprived. Parang, I was well provided for. I was loved. I was cared for. Kaya, if they're alive today, I would say thank you. Thank you, Ma. Thank you, Pa, for taking care of me. I know that yung effort nyo sa akin did not go to waste because I'm living my life to the fullest right now. Yun.
Pwede niyo lang po ba kami makwentuhan ng konting backstory po? Bakit po kayo inampun dati? Tsaka ilang taon po kayo ng mga panahon po na?
So, 3 years old ako noon, and then my parents got separated, and lahat kami nakatira sa bahay ng lola ko. And what happened was, yung tita ko, kapatid lang din ng mama ko at that time, wala pa silang anak nung time na yon. And parati na nila akong kinukuha-kuha. So parang medyo attached na yung tita ko sa akin. So when my parents got separated and naiwan ako doon sa bahay ng lola ko, tinanong nila ako na, gusto mo bang kami na lang yung maging parents mo? So kinuha nila ako and then I said yes. And then tumira, doon ako. I grew up with them. And then doon time na yon, they had a little girl then. So I grew up with a sister naman doon.
Ano pong naramdaman niyo nung mga panahon po na yun? Kasi syempre po nawalay po kayo sa...
Siyempre, pag bata ka pa, hindi naman ganun ka-evident na wala yung mama mo. I remember lang, I was crying. Sinasabi ko sa mama ko na I have this image in my head wherein nagpapak yung mom ko ng gamit niya, nasa maleta, and she was leaving. And I was crying and I was saying na sasama ako. Pero, syempre, growing up as a kid, hindi mo naman ramdam lahat ng yun eh. Kasi, syempre, you're busy going to school. But, growing up, I have this resentment and anger doon sa mom ko kasi I knew very well na iniwan niya ako. There's this image in my head talaga na iniwan niya ako. Kaya, may galit talaga ako sa kanya nung time na yon. But, growing up, sinasabi ko to doon sa adoptive mom ko na, I hated her. Like, why did she do that to us? And hindi rin siya, alam mo yun, she was not consistently communicating with us. And I couldn't blame her for that because, syempre nung time na yun, mahal yung long distance kasi alam ko yung mom ko went abroad to work. So, I'm sure mahal yung communication nung time na yun, right? Hindi na makagayan ngayon na may Viber na, may Facebook Messenger. Noong time na yun, very expensive yung long distance call. But
nakipag-reconnect po ba kayo sa kanila po?
yes, actually, my mom would go home. I think she went home from 3 years old to 30 years old. Ako, twice or 3 times, ganyan. So, big communication naman. Pero, hindi lang siya consistent. When I was 30 years old, bumalik yung mom ko for good dito sa Pilipinas. And, not growing up with her, iba yung set of values na kinalakihan namin. So, parati kaming may conflict. So, up until now, well, few years back, siguro 2-3 years ago, may conflict talaga kami. Kasi hindi kami parehas ng philosophies and ideals in life growing up. But by God's grace, I would say we're in a very good place ngayon. We're very mutual. She's living with me ngayon. So my father is a different story. Alam ko, he's in Bulacan. Bago ako magpakasal, pinuntahan ko siya. Nagkikita naman kami, nagko-communicate kami. Pero after that, parang like he did not want to do anything with us. Parang recently lang, nung April, 2023 of April, my sister came home from Canada, yung biological sister ko, and gusto niya lang makipag-meet with my dad. Tapos, nung una, pumayag yung dad ko, tapos bigla niyang binawi. Ayaw niya daw kaming makita kasi naaalala niya yung mama ko. So parang, alam mo yun, parang like, that was so painful. Parang, that's the biggest rejection I've had in my life. Alam mo yun, parang 40 years old, 40 plus years old na ako. Like, we just want to see him. We just want to see how he's doing. Alam mo yun, hindi naman kami hingi ng pera. Hindi naman kami, alam mo, hindi kami, we just want a small bit of time. Kasi we just want to, I guess, bless forward, di ba? Kasi my sister is very stable in Canada. I have a very stable life. Alam mo yun, parang gusto lang namin mag-reach out. Gusto lang namin makipag-reconnect. Pero ayaw ng papa ko. I don't know. I'm at a point that if you don't want to, it's fine. I respect your decision. Pero masakit lang. Diba? I mean, like, all these years, he never supported us. He never, walang emotional support, walang physical support, walang financial support whatsoever. Feeling ko, pag ibang tao yan, I think malala yung galit sa kanya. And hindi man lang magre-reach out sa kanya, right?
Ito pong mga experiences po ninyo simula pa po nung at a young age po, paano po kayo, sa tingin niyo po, paano po kayo hinubog nito bilang isang tao hanggang sa, ito po yung nag-start po kayo ng business?
I feel lahat ng struggles and pain that I went through as a child growing up, and even yung heartbreak of losing the only parents that you've known, made me resilient, made me really strong to face challenges in business and in life. Kasi having a business is very, very difficult. Hindi siya walk in the park. Hindi siya 8 to 5 na job. Unlike what many people would think. I believe that, God allowed all the things that happened in my life for a specific purpose. Kasi inallow niya ako to be really strong. He allowed these struggles and these challenges in my life to make me really strong in facing all the challenges that I am to face. So going back doon sa kwento, so yung sa Palengke days, I just took over yung business ng adoptive parents ko. But I came back to Manila para to start ulit yung IT career ko. And then doon, during my stint there, I worked really hard and I was promoted in less than a year because I closed several accounts, no? And so, syempre ang yabang-yabang ko, di ba? I mean, hindi. Mayabang talaga ako nung mga panahon na yun. Period. Because I felt I was on top of the world. I was young. I was good. I feel I can do anything. And then I met my back then boyfriend, asawa ko na ngayon. And then he recruited me sa isang network marketing. Okay? So, ang nag-introduce sa kanya is yung office mate niya. So, ang intro niya sa akin, grabe yung sobrang galing and sobrang genius kong office mate. Ginagawa tong network marketing. And parang in-invite niya ako sa isang, actually hindi niya ako in-invite, nag-try na silang mag-present sa akin. Syempre ang yabang ko kasi feeling ko, ang dami ko nang nasaliyang network marketing dati. Ano ba difference nitong network marketing na to? And then, at that time, may pinagseselosan akong office mate ng asawa ko. I mean, ng boyfriend ko nung time na yon. Okay. Kailangan ko mo sabihin yung name. Okay, basta. So, yung office mate niya, pinagseselosan ko kasi text na kumain ka na ba? natulog. O, di ba? Kahit ikaw magre-react ka, di ba? May friend bang nagsasabing kumain ka na ba, di ba? So, sobrang curious ko. And then, sabi nung boyfriend ko nung time na yun is, pupunta yung office mate niya. Kasi may business launch daw sila. Invited nila yung top leader nila nung network marketing na yun. So, sobrang curious ako, not of the opportunity, but of the office mate. Kasi nandun daw, gusto kong makilatis. Kikilatisin ko. And then, what turned out na supposed to be kilatis is, I had a mind shift. Kasi, tinanong ako nung top business owner, "Oh, what do you do?" Parang So, syempre, ang yabang ko, diba? Sabi ko, "I'm project manager for an IT consulting firm. We handled ganito, malalaking companies." Ang sinabi ko, I single-handedly, diba? Finish this project, ganyan-ganyan. Kaya na-promote ako 3 times in a year. Youngest project manager. Ang yabang talaga. Grabe. So parang tapos, simple lang yung sinabi niya sa akin. Sabi niya, "Wow, ang galing mo," sabi niya. Pero parang sabi niya, "With all your hard work," sabi niya, "sa tingin mo, a few years down the road, sa tingin mo, mapapasayo kaya yung kumpanya?" Ay, hindi. Mali. Sabi niya sa akin, "May anak ba yung boss mo?" Sabi ko, "Yes, meron." And nung time na yun, alam ko nag-aaral sila sa Ateneo. IT din yung kinukuha ng iba. Sabi niya, "Sa tingin mo kaya, when the time comes, mapapasayo kaya yung kumpanya? Or ipapamana doon sa anak?" So, ang sagot ko, syempre sa anak. Diba? So, I realized na kahit gaanong hard work mo, hindi rin pala mapupunta sa'yo kasi hindi mo kumpanya yun. So, I had a mind shift na recruit ako sa network marketing. And I was very fortunate that that company was a really good one naman. They had really good products. The company has been in the industry for 50 years. And yung mga kasabayan ko doon, mga taga-Ateneo, taga-Lasal, alam mo yun talagang high corporate employees din na nag-resign from their corporate job and then did this full-time. So I was very enamored. I was very curious, like, how's that possible, diba? So I gave my 5 full years dyan sa network marketing na yan. So I learned how to do marketing, sales, personal leadership, organizational leadership. So marami talaga akong nakuhang skills sa loob ng 5 solid years. So when I say solid, it's like 8 in the morning to 2 a.m. every single day, Monday to Sunday, sa loob ng 5 taon. Ganyan ko grind out yung network marketing na yan. So I was very, very deep into it. So and then after nun, I mismanaged yung finances ko. And then, kaya nga sobrang yabang namin. Hindi namin nang manage ng maayos yung finances namin. So, ang nangyari, God really humbled us. Bagsak na bagsak kami. I had to go back to work. So, bumalik ako doon sa IT consulting firm. And then, doon sa IT consulting firm, I did another 3 years doon. And then, yung nag-recruit sa asawa ko sa network marketing, inofferan naman ako to work for his company at half my salary, pero may equity naman ako. So, binigyan niya ako ng opportunity. So, ang nasa isip ko, chance ko na to have a share. Kahit na katiting lang sa company, na ang puhunan lang ay hard work. So, sabi ko, I can do that. So, yun, I took half of the salary. And then, nag-part-time ako. So, kung nagbenta ako ng siomai, nagbenta ako ng kung ano-ano, lahat ng sideline pinatulang ko. Hanggat sa nung pandemic, I chanced upon medical supplies. So, nagbenta ako ng face mask and gloves. And that side hustle grew in another proportion. So yun. So that business really took off.
In your own words po, kamusta naman po ang pagbi-business po dito sa Pilipinas po?
It's very challenging kasi syempre yung mga iba yung Filipino buyers, okay? Ang gusto parati ng Filipino is dapat mura, dapat sulit, 'di ba? So sometimes ang hirap makahanap ng mix ng quality and price, 'di ba? But by God's grace, I cannot attribute it sa akin lahat, but by God's grace, the business is still going on up until now. Yun pa rin yung bread and butter namin. I still sell gloves. I still sell medical supplies. God blessed me para makapag-venture din ako and diversify in other businesses. So, I also have Lucky Siomai and Siopaw. That's a brand that we have. It's been doing about a couple of years. So far, okay naman siya. And then we also ventured in Skin Pro Cosmetics Manufacturing. It's a skincare manufacturing company. And recently lang, just last year, I opened up a travel agency naman. So that's Granted Travel Consultancy Services. So we specialize in European tours. So yeah.
Dami nyo pong business, ano? Gaano po kahirap ang pagbi-business po dito? Nabaon na po ba kayo sa utang or yung mga ganun po ba?
Yes. Yeah. Mahirap talaga mag-business. But yung utang ko before was not because of this current business. Yung utang ko before was during nung network marketing era ko. Kasi, alam mo yung, ang yabang ko dati eh. Parang alam mo yun, parang may credit card, tapos may mga downline. Kaya sabi ko, sige, swipe mo lang yan, only yan. Ganyan kalala. And some of yung mga downlines, hindi ka na nabayaran. Gumagastos ka ng hindi according sa kinita mo. Gumagastos ka sobra-sobra, di ba? Hindi naman ganyan kalaki yung kinita, gagastos ka ng sobra. So it was like financial mismanagement talaga. Then nabaon ako sa utang. Like, baon na baon. To the point na tinakwil na ako ng family ko. Kasi parang medyo tabu kasi. Parang like, mortal sin magkautang. Especially sa culture namin, sa clan. Kasi Filipino-Chinese, I grew up in a Filipino-Chinese household. So, very, very, degrading pag alam ng mga tao na, alam mo yun, baon ka sa utang.
Paano nyo po yun? Ano po yun? In-overcome po yung ganong
By God's grace, I cannot take any credit talaga because nung time na yon, baon ako sa utang. I was devastated kasi left and right tumatawag sa'yo. Baon ka sa utang. Tapos mga kamag-anak mo tatawag sa'yo, bakit ka may utang dito, may utang doon? So wala ka ng credibility at all. So, I remember na I was holding on to Christian preaching nung time na yon. Nakikinig ako sa YouTube ng mga Christian message kasi I was looking for hope. Kasi I felt so hopeless. I felt so stuck na hindi ko alam ang gagawin ko. And then I was also fortunate that one of our business mentors dati, dinadala kami sa church to listen to service, to listen to preaching. And one preaching na narinig ko was about tithing. And that, test me on this. Sabi sa Bible verse, 'di ba, sa Malakay. Test me on this if I will not open the floodgates of heaven and pour yung blessings ko sa iyo until it overflows. So I really put that into test, no. I remember yung sahod ko nung time na yon, 50,000 pesos. Yung utang ko was about 600 to 700,000 pesos. So sa 50,000 na yon, minus tax, ang take-home ko, 40 plus thousand lang. And then, I need to pay rent. May yaya ako. pagkain namin, kuryente. So talagang kung kukumputin mo, sobrang kulang. Kulang talaga. But then, I remember, test me on this. So, nag-tight ako 10% of my take-home salary. Naalala ko, 4,300, 4,500 ang tinatight ko every month. Every single month. So, ang napupunta lang sa pagbayad ng utang, I think 10 or 20,000. And then, may mga sideline akong mga ginagawa, pangdagdag doon sa income ko. Would you believe, by God's grace alone, in a year's time, nabayaran ko yung utang.
Pwede niyo po ba kaming mabigyan ng mga, or i-clear up yung mga misconceptions po na iniisip lagi ng mga Pilipino sa, alam niyo po pagbi-business po dito kasi palagi nila sinasabi, pag nagbi-business ka, dami mo lang pera, walang sakit ng ulo. Pwede niyo po ba kaming kwentuhan kung ano po yung mga misconception? Pwede niyo po bang i-clear up sa amin?
Yung usual misconceptions na meron tayong mga Filipino na, ay nako, ang sarap-sarap ng buhay ng isang negosyante. Ang daming pera, ang yayaman, 'di ba? I mean, some of that may be true, but karamihan sa atin, especially yung mga employees na nagtatrabaho 8 hours in a day, na akala nyo pag may business, hayahay ang buhay. It's contrary to that. Like, if you're a business person, 24/7, 24 hours a day, kailangan yung attention mo. Kasi, especially when you're starting, okay? I'm not saying na when you made it, okay? But it's a good 3 to 4 years of like pure hard work that you need to establish yung systems in place, you need to establish yung processes in place nyo. But prior to that, if you're starting, ikaw lahat. Ikaw yung payroll, ikaw accounting, ikaw human resources, ikaw ang sales, marketing, ikaw pa minsan delivery, ikaw yung procurement, ikaw lahat, right? So, you have so many roles to play as an entrepreneur versus if you're an employee na usually 1 or 2 roles na meron ka. So I think yan yung biggest misconception na hayahay ang buhay ng isang negosyante. Kabaliktaran po. Sobrang hirap niya in the beginning. Okay. Yung pinaka-moment na hindi ko makakalimutan being an entrepreneur is customers entrusting you with millions of pesos kahit na hindi ka pa ganun kalaki. So when I was starting, wala naman ako ganun kalaking puhunan. So may time that I had to deliver a certain amount of product sa isang customer. I think it was worth about 3 million nung time na yon. Wala akong pera. Sabi ko sa customer, ma'am, hindi ko po ma-deliver kasi kukunin ko pa yung stock doon sa supplier para i-deliver sa kanya. Sabi ko, ma'am, wala ko akong pera. 1M lang yung pera ko. Alam mo, the customer deposited the remaining amount para mabili ko yung product at madala ko sa kanya. 3 million, 50,000 lang ang kikitain ko doon. Kaya alam mo yun, enough lang. Wala talaga akong enough capital noon para mabili ko yung product at ma-deliver ko. But I feel that moment na for your customer to trust you with that amount of money, really, I think yun yung turning point talaga ng yung confidence ko that, integrity in business will really bring you far talaga. So, that moment talaga na feel ko na, like, you can go far with just integrity. Hindi mo kailangan ng sobrang laking pera to be able to execute that.
Ngayon po ba masasabi niyo pong you made it?
Ngayon, masasabi kong I kinda made it. I will really not say I made it because I feel there's so much things na kailangan ko pang gawin. Marami pa akong kailangan matutunan, marami pang processes and structures na kailangan ko pang gawin sa business ko ngayon. But I would say I kinda made it kasi back then when I was starting, sobrang hirap magnegosyo, sobrang hirap makahanap ng opportunities. Whereas compared ngayon, opportunities are left and right. So it's just a matter of executing them right. Masasabi kong anybody can have a try on business. Anybody can do it. It doesn't require a specific skill set. It just requires a specific character and behavior. Kasi I believe pag maging entrepreneur ka, you have to be resilient. You have to have that problem-solving mindset. You have to have a winner's attitude. Hindi pwedeng pa-victim ka parate. That's not a very good characteristic for an entrepreneur. So I believe that all of this behavior, all of these characters can be learned. Okay? While sinasabi ng mga tao na, ay nako, pag ugali na niya, mahirap na yan. I strongly believe in my heart that, people can change. Sa mga gustong mag-business dyan, simulan mo na. I think the number one killer of people who wants to start a business is really doubt. Alam mo yung parang alanganin ka, ayaw mong itry. Ang advice ko is, gawin mo na. Just try it, 'di ba? Because eto talaga, okay? In business, hindi pwedeng pagkagawa mo ng isang business, that's it. Boom na agad. Swerte na agad, right? Although, malaki yung chances mo if, for example, magfa-franchise ka, okay? Or maging reseller ka. That one, your chances of failure are very low. But, ang gusto ko lang i-encourage sa lahat ng aspiring entrepreneurs is just do it. Just do it, 'di ba? Because that's the first step. That's the first step of you getting into business. And then, learn along the way. Figure things out. Solve problems along the way. And if you're able to do that and develop that habit of just going forward, just solving problems, just doing it day by day, I think darating ka rin sa point na ang dami mo nang natutunan, ang dami mo nang baon, then eventually, you will really crack that code and make it really big. If gusto mong mag-start ng sarili mong business na hindi ka pa sure, you're welcome to try out skincare line. You can contact us at SkinPro Cosmetics Manufacturing, and you can also try sa frozen goods. We have Lucky, Siomai, and Siopaw. Okay? Or perhaps, kung gusto mo maging agent ng medical supplies, we are one of the biggest gloves distributor in the Philippines, OWCG Trading. Or you can be an agent sa aming travel agency, Granted Travel Consultancy Incorporated. Or simply, just try any business. Kasi mas important yung you try it and start it right away. My last message talaga is, my ultimate business partner has always been Jesus. So I encourage everyone that, if you don't know Him in your life, get to know Him. How Jesus can actually save you, how He can get you out from the deepest trenches in your life and just lift you up. Because He has definitely changed my life. And I hope He will change yours as well.
May ibang mga kwento ba kayong gustong marinig? I-comment nyo lang yan sa comment section at huwag nyo na rin kakalimutan na i-like, share at mag-subscribe sa aming YouTube channel.